I just like to spin in this chair and lay back on this backdrop and pretend like I'm in Cali. This show was hella creepy, and so are the characters. What's up, you guys, and welcome back to Stalk by GG 101. Today is Wednesday, which means one thing. It is time for a recap, review, whatever, of Riverdale! Yes, I'm in the same outfit, same position, same hair, same everything under the sun as the last episode that we did last week, because I'm filming the rest of these episodes, if not the next couple of episodes, in one sitting. So we are going into episode 7 of 13 of Riverdale. And if you do not remember, I watched all of them in one sitting, and I wrote down the summaries and my thoughts. Ow! I just dropped my pen and it stabbed me. Oh, God. You guys, I cannot make this stuff up. So, we're going to read what I wrote, and we're going to have a conversaciones about it, okay? Okay. So, this is Episode 7. Episode continues with Polly's escape. Betty organizes the search and to find her. Blossom show up as a threat. Well, with a threat. Betty's mom used it as an excuse. She orchestrates a press meeting to inform the town that Polly is pregnant with Jason's baby. While Jughead walks Betty home, she has an epiphany about where Polly is hiding. Their attic. Wants Polly to adopt. Not sure what I meant by that, but okay. While at school, one of the Mary Cherry minions overhears and tells her. Mary Cherry approaches Betty, saying she wants to help the baby. She tells her parents they met with Betty. Mrs. Blossom asks Mary Cherry if she ever saw Polly use drugs. She catches on. Mary Cherry, aka MC, goes to meet them, but wants Polly to run because she doesn't think her family wants to help her. Archibald finds out Jughead is living in the school, talks to his dad about getting Jughead's father's job back. Fred agrees. Jughead had apprehension but agrees. Fred tells Hermione FP says he won't tell if she won't. Because FP was, remember, the sea serpent or Scorpio, whatever the hell he was, that was doing the deal with Hermione for Hyman. I think that's the dad's name. Veronica acting out because she's pissed at Hermione. Hermione and Veronica reconcile. No Fred in the house, and she tells her father she forged Veronica's signature. Sheriff and principal find Betty and Jughead sus board. Sheriff brings Jughead in. Brings up past, then asks where he was the weekend of July 11th. Because remember, even though the gunshot was heard on 4th of July, the body wasn't found until a few days later. And a few weeks later, I think, or a month or so later. And it was discovered that he had actually died after the point of the gunshot. Fred shows up because FP is MIA, gives him an alibi saying he was working for him. I think he didn't want to tell the truth to save his dad. Jughead living with Archibald, Polly with the Lodges, and Jason's jersey. Okay, not Jason's jersey. I wrote Jason's jersey, but it's actually Jason's sportsman jacket was seen in FP's closet. So that led me to ask, but why? He killed Jason, but why? Did he bully Jughead? Okay, so let's go over everything that I just read. So basically in that episode, we see that Polly is hiding in the attic, and she doesn't want to tell her parents, and she seems mostly scared of her father. Why, we're not really sure in this episode. We will soon find out why later in later episodes, but she seems very scared of her father, and she's saying that, you know, everybody wants her to like adopt the baby, but she doesn't want to give up the baby because the baby was a product of her and Jason. Which is understandable, you know? I mean, who hasn't seen 16 and Pregnant? But we're in love! 6 months into the pregnancy. I hate you! I hate you! So, I mean, whatever. So, Veronica offers to have Polly stay with the Lodges, which Hermione agrees to because Hermione is just kind of like that cool mom. I don't know. I just kind of feel like you're a mom, not one of her friends, so you need to put your foot down a little bit more than what you do, Hermione. But, you know, to each their own. So that happened. They did find the suspect board, and they bring Jughead in, and they start bringing up his past, and we find out a lot of things about Jughead. Like, he was bullied a lot when he was younger. And so that gives him a motive to kill Jason Blossom. Now, for some, that might make a lot of sense. But for me, it was a little bit too obvious. Now, one thought did cross my mind, though, because, you know, Jughead is writing a book about what's been going on in the town and different things like that. And it kind of made me think of that movie, not Fatal Attraction. I forgot the name of the movie, but it was like this movie where this author was writing about murders, but what actually it was is she was writing about her own murders, and because it was a book, her book was kind of like her alibi. Like, no one would have believed that she would have done these things because it was in a book. You know what I'm saying? It was in her book. But, like, it kind of reminded me of that, but then I was like, no, I don't think Jughead is capable of doing that. But one thing that did make him suspicious was, you know, when they asked where he was the weekend of July 4th, he didn't give an answer. Now, we don't know where Jughead was, and maybe he did say it and I forgot about it, so please definitely say down below if he did. We know that, well, the weekend of July 11th. We know where he was the weekend of July 4th. We know that much. But we have absolutely no clue where he was the weekend of July 4th, and he doesn't answer. So even though I don't think that he killed Jason Blossom, I still want to know, like, bro, where was you at? And maybe it could have just been a thing because, you know, we find out that he's homeless, which we found out from before, but like maybe it could have just been a thing where he didn't want to say where he was because then they would have known that he was homeless and he was living in and out, and child services would get involved and all these other things. But that did stick in my mind. As far as Mary Cherry and her family is concerned, I don't trust the Blossoms as far as I can throw them. They seem really freaking weird. They don't seem like all the marbles are there. And I feel really bad for Mary Cherry because it's very obvious that her parents don't love her as much as they love Jason, or loved Jason because Jason's dead. So, you know, I don't know. I feel really bad for her. But that family is just so weird. There's just something not right about that family. And I don't know. I guess we will find out in episodes to come. Also, one more thing I wanted to talk about. There was one thing that I wanted to talk about that I didn't bring up in last week's episode. My bad. That was definitely talking about Josie. The reason why Josie is the way that she is, because we don't see Josie that much. I'm telling you, the point of Josie and the Pussycats is so far off, so irrelevant, it makes no sense. But like what we did find out about Josie the last episode, which has nothing to do with this episode because she was nowhere near this episode, but like what we did find out about Josie is that her father is also in the music business, but he's very pro-black. Like, he's all about uplifting black people and showing black people in the best light and showing their true talents, which as a black woman I can appreciate and I can understand. But he goes extra hard with it to the point where like he doesn't want anybody that is not black in the Pussycat Dolls, and he only wants her to do only black stylings of music because she was named after Josephine Baker, who was a affluent black singer. A pillar in the black musical industry of way back in the days. So he wants that for her, and she's trying to please him, but she kind of, I think for her, it's like she wants to please him and she does agree with showing, you know, black, strong, empowered people, but at the same time, you can't really control what kind of music you like to listen to, and I think that's kind of where she gets to a road, because I think she takes a lot of pop music and tries to make it very urbanized, which you can't always do. Like, I mean, you can't really take Taylor Swift songs and make it urbanized. Like, how? But I feel like she's the type that would try to do that. So that was something that I didn't address in the last episode that I wanted to address in this episode. Num 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 num. See ya, anemone. But yeah, that's all. So if you enjoyed this episode and you want to see more like it, if you enjoyed me, you want to see more from me, then you know exactly what to do. You need to be part of the GG My Swimmer pod and come swimming with us on all of our adventures. How might you do that? You're asking. Well, it's simple. All you have to do is rate, comment, subscribe, and share, because sharing is caring, and I'll be seeing you in my next video. Loves and likes ya. Bye.